When I was expecting my first baby, my husband worked nights. He came home one morning and I was still in bed. I was not feeling well, and I suggested that we head to the hospital and see what was going on. As we pulled into the parking lot, I asked my husband if he would give me a blessing. He had never given a blessing before. So I reached over right there in the front seat of the car and put his hands on my head and began that blessing. However, his mind went completely blank, and so he ended it. As we got out of the car and headed inside, I knew Heavenly Father would fill in that blank and bless me with what I needed. We met with the doctor and he confirmed that our baby was on her way. My husband left me in the room and headed in to check me into the hospital. When he came back, I was climbing the walls. The labor pains had hit hard and fast, and he dug in at my side to assist me. We'd chosen to have this baby without any medication, and by the time it got very close to her coming, I was experiencing the most excruciating pain I'd ever known in my whole life. The doctor came in and took a seat, just as relaxed as could be, and I finally looked at him and I said, "Do something! You're the doctor! You're supposed to do something!" And he very kindly came over and, in my face, said, "Tanya, it's almost over. Your baby's almost here." And he was right. Not long after, she was placed in my arms, and I forgot all about all of the pain. Being a mother came naturally to me. I grew up as the oldest of 6 children. My mother was a homemaker, and I learned at her side how to care for a family and a home. I grew up singing, "When I grow up, I want to be a mother. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little babies of my own." If you were to ask young women today that question, what they want to be when they grow up, what do you think they would say?
Lawyer, doctor,
Psychologist.
nurse,
Teacher.
Teacher? Some of those are correct. Today, if you ask them what they want to be, they say a doctor, a teacher, a scientist. Women today can be anything they want to be, and that is fabulous. However, I wonder if we're forgetting the value of being a mother. In America today, 45% of all pregnancies are unplanned. Of those pregnancies, 42% end in abortion. And 61% of all abortions that are taking place in the United States today are for the young women in the ages from 20 to 29. I was done having all of my children by the time I was 29 years old. Women today are not valuing motherhood. Today, the average age of first-time mothers is 26 years old. When I was a young woman, back in the 80s, it was 22. And biologically speaking, those early ages from 20 to 29 are the most ideal time to have your children. There are women today that are choosing to go after their careers first. And in fact, in Silicon Valley, women are being offered as a hiring incentive egg freezing as a benefit where they can take advantage to some degree of the biological benefits of this time period for their bodies, and yet put it off. So they don't have to worry about the muss and fuss of having children until they have their career established, and then if they feel like it, maybe they'll give it a try. Women today are not valuing motherhood. Sexual promiscuity is rampant, and unplanned pregnancies are following without any preparation or intention. Women are choosing to go after a career and to pursue that career and using abortion as a way and means to do that and put off having their children. But you are not like the women of the world today. You know the difference. You have the words of prophets and apostles that teach us that the first and greatest commandment that was given to Adam and Eve in the garden was that of becoming parents. You know from those prophets and apostles that Heavenly Father's commandment to us to multiply and replenish the earth is still in force today. You also know that marriage between a man and woman is sacred, and that procreative power should only be exercised between a man and a woman who are legally and lawfully wedded. Children are an heritage of the Lord. Life is to be valued, and that life is so important as a part of Heavenly Father's plan. And also, in the young women's motto, you declare that that you will prepare now to make and keep sacred covenants and to become and to strengthen home and family. Now, what do you think would be the most important things to become a mother? As we talk about strengthening home and family and knowing that we do value children and we do value becoming a mother, what do you think might be some things that are needed to develop to become a mother?
Integrity.
Integrity, okay. What about some skills? I mean, I think as women, as young women, that we're valuing that motherhood, but are we valuing it to the extent that we are actually preparing ourselves intentionally to become mothers? So what are some things, what are some skills do you think mothers need?
Good cook.
Okay, cooking. What else?
I would say problem solving.
Problem solving, okay.
Time management.
Time management. What else? What else are some other, do you think that would need to be needed?
Ironing.
Ironing. Yeah, there's a lot of skills. I want to tell you about a time that my daughter, in 6th grade, they're having a career day. And I was invited, I signed up to come and to speak about motherhood as a career. Her teacher was kind of surprised, but he said, sure, come on in. I came in with a hairnet on and my bathrobe on. And I came in and I said, you know what? I get my kids out the door and I just put my feet up and eat bonbons and watch soap operas. So I put my feet up, turned the TV on. I had a little package of bonbons. And I just sat there for a minute and all the kids looked at me. And I turned to them and I said, do you think that's what moms really do? And so we began talking about what moms do, and we covered an entire blackboard with all the different things that moms do, all the different skills that it takes to be a mom. And each and every one of those skills are things that people use as their entire employment, that they train to become. When I left that day, those kids had a greater appreciation for all that moms do and for the profession of being a mother. Now, I've taught my daughters and prepared them to be mothers. And one of the things that I've taught them is cooking. It's an important skill to have. My daughter Casimira, she decided when she was a young adolescent that she was ready to make cookies all by herself. And so she got her cousin together and they gathered all the ingredients and they made these beautiful cookies and they put them on a platter and they took them out to their cousins and their siblings. Well, my son Nate, he took a great big bite of one of those cookies and he started to cry. They were awful. Instead of using a teaspoon of baking soda, they had used an entire cup. They looked beautiful, but they didn't taste very good. There's some science there, science in the kitchen. Now is the time to prepare to become a mother. Becoming a mother is a sacred calling and a sacred duty. There's a sacred trust that comes there. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Women, we are different. We are happy and we're peculiar and different from the world because we know who we are eternally. We know the divine appointment we have to become mothers. We also know that motherhood is a faith-based work. So, as you build that faith, it is so imperative that you build that faith so that you know who you are and why you are here. And you can declare without excuse, when I grow up, I want to be a mother, besides the scoffs and the scorns. And you can take that time to build your faith. You must build your faith in who you are and why you are here, as well as gain the knowledge and the homemaking skills to be able to be a homemaker and care for your family beyond just good cookies.